Hello and welcome back again to our weekly reflections, and this time it's up to the fourth of the Sundays of Easter, and the central theme is around the Good Shepherd. So today we'll start with another book, and it's D.H. Lawrence's The Virgin and the Gypsy, set in the very lovely part of English countryside around Shropshire. And the house is a church house. It's the vicar's house, and in it his wife has gone off with another man. This traumatizes the vicar, and he keeps it very much like a jail. And within the house are four women. Aunt Sissy, who is the vicar's sister, and then there's three very lively young women. The oldest, a vet. And the whole aim of the exercise of the vicar and his sister is to have a house that's very controlled. It's fairly stuffy, and Aunt Sissy is obsessed with a memorial window to the dead, and of course the contrast between the vital young women and Aunt Sissy and her preoccupation with the memorial to the dead as the sort of interplay right through the novel. And the link is that the stained glass window is of the Good Shepherd.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. Jesus said, "I tell you most solemnly, anyone who does not enter the sheepfold through the gate, but gets in some other way, is a thief and a brigand. The one who enters through the gate is the shepherd of the flock. The gatekeeper lets him in. The sheep hear his voice, and one by one he calls his own sheep and leads them out. When he has brought out his flock, he goes ahead of them, and the sheep follow because they know his voice. They never follow a stranger, but run away from him. They do not recognize the voice of strangers." Jesus told them this parable, but they failed to understand what he meant by telling it to them. So Jesus spoke to them again. "I tell you most solemnly, I am the gate of the sheepfold, and others who have come are thieves and brigands. But the sheep took no notice of them. I am the gate. Anyone who enters through me will be safe. He will go freely in and out, and be sure of finding pasture. The thief comes only to kill and destroy. I have come so they may have life, and have it to the full." This is the gospel of the Lord.
So the question I want to explore in today's reflection is, do we stand for a very controlled sort of faith community or church, very much on guard, inclined to be fairly repetitious and stuffy, almost preoccupied with will we get to heaven or not, death, and hopefully life thereafter? Or do we see not religion in terms of ideology, but of faith? Now, when we look at the story of the Good Shepherd in John's Gospel, as opposed to the Good Shepherd in the stained glass window in the church, the difference is enormous, because Jesus shapes an image of himself like a good shepherd who knows the flock. They hear his voice. He protects them. He's at the gate to make sure they're in, out of the savagery of what could happen to them outside. He knows them, the voice, he knows them one by one. and he is not like the stranger that tries to take the sheep away. He is not like the hireling that would come and steal one of the flock, but he's a tender, compassionate, loving figure. Again, let's take the contrast here. The Good Shepherd in the stained glass window in the English countryside is frozen in, and he stands very much for resistance, stability that's almost sterile and stagnant. But the Good Shepherd that Jesus presents before the scribes and Pharisees, the temple authorities, is a shepherd, and he takes his ideas from Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Ezekiel, all Jewish prophets, who in various ways said, one will come to shepherd my people. And in various lines, the shepherd is protective, sincere, a person of love and integrity. And Jesus preached this idea before the religious establishment. And they are angry because it confronts maybe their lack of integrity and sincerity in their religious tradition. What Jesus is trying to do is to show that the prophet listens to the people, nurtures them, shows them a way forward, inspires them. And that's the very thing that this group of fellows are not doing. So the significance of the Good Shepherd image is not to protect a static church, but to enliven us, to be confronted by each of us, not just the bishop or the pope, but the rank and file, the ordinary ones, that we are not into ideology, we are into gospel, we're into the way of the prophet. Oh, that we would listen. Oh, that we would protect. Oh, that we would be the one that binds up the wounds or cares for the one that is broken. It's very much that sort of thing that is at the very core of Good Shepherd Sunday, the Sunday that we celebrate this weekend, 4 Sundays in the Easter period. So, to a prayer. Lord, may we have compassion, tenderness, and the gift of kindness in our lives. May we nurture those who are frail in body and in spirit. May we look out for the ones that suffer injustice, the ones on the edge that are in dangerous places. May your heartbeat become our life-giving source. Amen.